Greetings, and welcome to the very first edition of the Under Review Series Review. We'll be taking a look at each game, the main storylines, the top players in the series, and everything you see on the little ticker below. We start things off in the Metro with a series that had high sweep potential and very much lived up to that billing. The President's Trophy winning New York Rangers versus the second wild card holding Capitals. You knew this was going to be a sweep, okay? Just take your shots.
I'm not taking my shots. I'm just saying, to start this series, this is a crazy...
The sweep.
If somebody's going to go back and watch a series to be like, how'd that one go down? This is probably least likely. Oh, that historically bad team versus the President's Trophy winning team? How'd it happen?
The Rangers fans might be interested if they go on to do something.
Yeah, true. Like if they win a cup and this is a part of that time capsule.
Well, it took until the final day of the season for the Washington Capitals to clinch a playoff spot, doing so with an empty net goal with 3 minutes to go in a tie game with the Flyers, since Philly had to win in regulation to punch their playoff ticket, or because Torts really hates the Red Wings. We may never know.
I could see him doing it for spite. He seems like that type of guy.
Someone just like showed him the phone and they're like, oh, he's like, yank the goalie. Make this happen. Either way, the Capitals made it, doing so with a goal differential of -37, the worst a playoff team has had since 1991. The Canucks, they had a -73 goal difference, and that got them into the playoffs, but not past but not past the first round. Would things be any different for the Capitals in this series? No. I
don't know if you were asking or...
No, it would not. In fact, it was way worse. That Vancouver team won 2 games. And that was against Gretzky's Kings. So
Ooh, I mean, they never won, so...
It's true. They didn't.
Kind of losers. Oh, believe me, I know we're losers.
Corwin, I'm going to catch you up. Here is the series in 60 seconds or so. Game 1. The Rangers' top 2 lines led the discussion heading into the series, and early on, Panarin, he showcased just how lethal the second line has been for New York. But it was Matt Rempe who scored the first goal of the series. The Rangers never looked back, as the usual suspects got involved on the score sheet, while Ovi, he has an unusual performance, failing to even register a shot on net. Game 2. The Capitals, they showed a lot more fight here, even scoring first, but then they failed to register a shot on net after taking the lead before 2 goals go the other way. The Capitals did play things tighter, but the Rangers' special teams kept on scoring on the power play and on the penalty kill. Ovi still without a point in the series. Game 3. Is this finally the game where the Capitals can get to Shesterkin, who has struggled on the road in the playoffs in the past? No, it isn't. As the former Vezina winner shuts the door the rest of the way and nearly scored before Ovi in the series, before Ovi himself stopped it. Ovi still without a point in the series. Game 4. Do or die for the Capitals. The Capitals, they chose die early, as a bit of pressure leads to Kakko getting his first goal of the not even supposed to be like a shootout.
This is like a roller coaster ride, but it's the roller coaster you build in Roller Coaster Tycoon that just shoots the cart off the end and they die. Is this the one they turn around? No. He just kept saying that.
The Caps kept fighting. Well, most of them. Keeping this square until the third, until the Rangers' power play continues to prove too strong. As the Rangers, they get their first series sweep in 17 years. And yes, Ovi remains goalless and pointless in this series because none of those count towards the regular season anyways.
Smart play, honestly. Make the playoffs for we did it. That's a little bit of a victory. And then get Ovi out of there as quick as possible. Get him resting for next year.
You know how like some players are like, my game is built for the playoffs, and they take pride in that? He's just now like, I just only care about the regular season. My game is built just for the regular season.
Yeah.
It stops in April.
Game 2, where that Rangers goal where Ovi gets stripped on the boards, there's not a lot of urgency to be like, oh no, I've lost the puck in an incredibly dangerous area and I should maybe try to get that back.
When the announcers are going at you in the broadcast, you know, like your effort is drop.
I'm not sure why Alexander Ovechkin's not busting down the wall there on that rim. He stays up high and waits to try to stop it at the line. He's got to get in there and put some pressure on. He's just standing there outside the blue line.
That's not where the goals are. Behind the net?
I saw a tweet of just like OV series recap, and it was just him in the spot standing there like this.
We also have a quiz question in here. So, Corwin, you're going to have some time to chew on this. How many times has Ovi been kept to 1 goal or less in the playoffs? We'll come back for the answer later on. So you have some time to think about it, and you do too. But before then, this brings up our 3 top storylines of this series. First one has to be Ovi failing to record a single point in the series and looking more and more his age. The Rangers, they deserve some credit as they did a great job on him defensively. They blocked half of his shots and limited his high danger chances. Wasn't even top 5 on the team in that area. With that being said, Ovi, he's an impatient man, deciding that he wants that statue now and deciding that he was going to go ahead and place it on the blue line at Capital One Arena. But he did not look good in that series. He looks 38 because he is 38.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. And again, it was kind of like a fairy tale thing for them to make the playoffs.
The second storyline, that's got to be Shesterkin. That slow start of the season, well behind him. After having a save percentage below 900 at the All-Star break, Shesterkin, he returned to his world-class ways, and he posted a 929 save percentage the rest of the way. He made huge saves when they needed him most in this series, including a number of big stops in Game 3. The Capitals knocking on the door, and you need your goalie to be on a heater to win a cup. And when your goalie is not only in form, but also arguably the best goalie on earth when he is, you're probably feeling pretty good no matter who you're playing.
Yeah, as I think just in general for the Rangers, they're just feeling good because
everything's
like
clicking.
That's kind of the one thing that you're like, as long as he's good, we can do it.
We can work the rest out. And what is the rest? Third storyline. It's important that we don't get too carried away with the Rangers sweep here, as they did beat the team that just about everyone believed to be the worst in the playoffs. And they were. But the last storyline here highlights what the Rangers should be most happy with overall with their start to the playoffs. They took care of business like they needed to, and did so as a team. What propelled the Rangers to success in the regular season?
Power play, penalty kill.
2 top lines that were buzzing, something that continued, with Mika leading the way on the first with a series-high 7 points. Trocheck, Laff, and Panarin continuing to work excellently as a trio. Great for Laff. We're very happy for him.
Yeah, I feel like that's like him and Byfield have this like eternal...
They're linked.
No, but I just mean like eternal. Everybody's just kind of like, I'm happy they're doing a little bit better.
And it's just like draft buzz. So yeah, a lot of their points came on the power play in this series. But that was another strength of the Rangers on the year, as you said, Corwin. Ranking 3rd on both the power play and the penalty kill. They give up more penalties than they probably would have liked in this series. They'll want to change that against Carolina. But their strength remains strengths, as they got the job done and scored no matter who had the numerical advantage. The fourth liners contributed in that area, as well as at 5-on-5. And a lot was made who Peter Laviolette was going to choose to complete his fourth line. And he went with Matt Rempe, who played his role, for better or for worse, as he once again became a huge talking point, despite averaging the least minutes on the ice. With nearly everyone chipping in, the Rangers, they got their first series sweep since 2007, and it was just the 3rd time in the millennium that they won a series in 5 or less games. And rest, kind of important in the playoffs.
Another eternal debate in hockey is like, is it better to have rest or is it better to be sharp?
Just
and
like keep going in.
Win your game 7s and be playing playoff hockey. You don't want these guys getting too casual. Also, that you were talking about Rempe. That hit that he had.
You're trying to start a debate now. You're asking whether or not he should be.
Well, no, I don't know. Like it's funny because I was watching it with people and everybody was kind of like,
he got a lot of attention.
It's because he's big.
Yes.
But when you're big, you have to know your own limitations and like things you can't do.
Yeah, you didn't just grow big overnight. It's tough because we're kind of in between eras. As a kid, all the way into when we were in high school, what he did, that was a clean hit. Yeah. I never would have looked at that and looked and thought anything else. Now,
it's a gray area for sure.
It's a gray area, and I could see where it is.
I think just because of his short history and how reckless he honestly has been, that you're kind of like, yeah, you can't do that.
You can't do it. All right, the top scorers in this one. Mika Zibanejad, he had 7 points, 1 goal, and 6 primary assists. On the Cap side, Wilson and Ferravari, they tied for 3 points, but I'm going to give the tiebreaker to Ferravari because he had a huge hit on Rempe. So you can have that. That's in there. That stat's in there.
That's the official NHL tiebreaker for the Art Ross, is who had a bigger hit on the other person.
Yeah, or on Matt Rempe.
Yeah, specifically on Rempe.
Best goal of the series. Corwin, what do you think?
Maybe most memorable was the Rempe goal.
The thing that's going to be pulled forever is that he had more goals in this series than Ovi. If you're a Rangers fan, you'll say that for a long time.
Yeah.
But the goal itself was not the best goal of the series.
Definitely not. I like the Chris Kreider goal. Game 1, 4th goal. Mika Zibanejad with a hell of a pass out of his own zone. Tape to Kreider in stride. He's in on goal
and the celebration in the garden, just like on the that was
sitting down on the boards.
It was a cool goal. How'd the goalies do? Well, we already know how Shesterkin did. Very well. The Capitals, they averaged the 3rd least shots on goal per game out of every team in the playoffs. But you can only face what's in front of you, and Shesterkin, well, he more than handled that task. He posted at .931 save percentage, and he saved 4 goals above expected as per Money Puck.
Lindgren?
We'll get to him right here. A lot was expected of Charlie Lindgren, mostly because the Capitals were always going to be overmatched, but also because Lindgren, he'd been brilliant in the Caps' run to the playoffs. He had a .949 save percentage in the 5 games before the playoffs. And then he had an .864 save percentage in it. He allowed 1.8 goals more than was expected.
Still, I didn't like. It wasn't like from everything I saw.
He didn't lose the series for them.
Yeah. It was just like
Didn't save it for them either.
precisely because of how great he was at the end of the season. Kind of the way you thought they might be able to steal a couple games, maybe make it a series, was if he was stellar, and he wasn't. But I don't think that's any blame on him. It's just kind of they played a better team, and no one really matched up that well.
We said that, I think, in one of the podcasts. We're like, okay, well, if you're the Capitals, it's a team game, hockey, but if Ovi doesn't score and Lindgren isn't lights out, the series is over.
Yeah.
Like, you probably just don't have a chance because you're just overmatched.
And they were
0 points and, save percentage below 900. Swept. In case I haven't said that enough in here.
Hey, Capitals fans, you still there?
The best save of the series, that has to go to Shesterkin, who stonewalled Pacioretty purely out of psychic ability.
Yes, that one was
Pretty
great.
nuts. Pretty nuts. And now it's time for one stat that'll make your face do that.
Is that a category in this?
Oh, yeah.
Are we always going to have that with us?
To be honest, I thought the face would be more like, are you ready for your face to do that? So after Laviolette's call to use Rempe on the fourth line, the Rangers have now improved to 18-2-1 with him in the lineup. He averaged less than 6 minutes a game in the regular season and less than 7 in the playoffs. But still, that is the record when he plays. So if you're just a fan of the guy, and if you're a Rangers fan, I know they're kind of more split than you think on him. A lot of them like him, but there is like a pretty loud group of them that are like, the way he plays, which I also get.
Yeah, like I mean, I think you'll get that with fighters around the league now.
The answer to the quiz question to end this off. Do you have an answer? Do you want to provide me with one? The question again was, how many times has Ovi been kept to 1 goal or less in the playoffs?
3.
So you guessed. I could tell in your
Once.
tone. Even the way you corrected was a guess, and you split.
I changed to once.
It's twice.
Ah! Oh, that's what you're saying by split.
Yeah. He did it against the Panthers in 2022 and against the Rangers in 2013. So funny enough, this is the second time that the Rangers have done this to the
Oh,
man.
so 3 then. I was right initially.
I guess I meant, you get to see this live. I meant before this one. So yes, whatever.
So I was right.
Nothing's at stake
before
here.
I changed my
Yeah, it is 3 overall. So that is me not writing the question correctly. But how many quizzes have we had that happen in?
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot. That's the series under review. Did you love this? Did you hate it? Did you just kind of mildly like it? Let us know, because that'll determine how many more of these we do during the playoffs.
I think we're going to use a series that ends a little more interestingly as more of a litmus test, probably, for continuation. We are going to do more in round 1.
Yeah, we're not going to do this for every series. We'll probably pick and choose our ones. Before it started, I was like, the Rangers have a good shot of going deep. I'm going to pay attention to their series. That's why we did this one. That's why you're doing the Bruins one.
Yeah.
I say Bruins in that one.
I feel like one we'll definitely do one for is Vegas Dallas, because that feels like
one.
it could be an iconic series.
It needs
like,
a breakdown.
Like, you remember that old Sharks Vegas series?
Oh, yeah.
That, like, having a breakdown for that would have been sweet, right? 'Cause
Yes.
That's an iconic series, and I think this could be pretty similar.
I have nothing left. That is it. That is all my notes.
He's given you everything. What else do you want?
I'm going to Jimmy Butler this.
I don't know what that is.
The Jimmy Butler meme when he's exhausted.
I don't know that one.
I'm under the weather. That's not under review.
Because it's factual.